Hey friends, how are you doing today? Welcome to the Fully Booked and Fulfilled Entrepreneurs Facebook community. I am so excited to kick off this week with the Business Message Makeover Challenge, which really this live series is going to help you to create a compelling one-liner to the question, what do you do? Right? Whenever you're out networking or even, connecting with people online, that's one of the first questions that people ask you. And so really my intention is for you to walk away from the series with just a really clear and confident way to describe what you do, talk about what you do, and also to know that really when you are clarifying your business message, you're actually also creating almost like a mini business plan. So you know like who you serve, how you're going to serve them, and what makes you different and stand out in a saturated industry. So if you're joining me live, I'd love for you to say hello, or if you're catching the replay, you can always hit hashtag replay. Just a couple of housekeeping notes before I dive right into today's session is that if you have not downloaded your free workbook, you can do that at shichencoaching.com/business message challenge. Let me see if I can drop the link in the comments section. But really, you're going to want to have that guide because it is just a great way for you to walk through this process together, and also for you to refer to, over and over again if you want to be able to refine your message in the future. And I also really just like having like a place to write things down, tweak things, try things out too. So you're going to want to you're going to want to download that workbook. And also, as the more that you comment along with these videos and the Facebook group prompts along this challenge, you'll be entered to win a one-on-one session. And I will be going live on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday of this week at this time, 9:15 Eastern Standard Time, to really walk you through this process. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so one overall thing I want to really talk about first is like, what is a business message and why is it important in the first place? So really the way that I think about a business message is kind of really similar to a niche, right? It's really how you're able to tell people like what you do, the problem that you solve, but more importantly, it really communicates like why you do it and how you're different. Now, a lot of other business coaches or marketers would really just kind of leave it at that. It's like, how do you explain to somebody what you do? But for me, coming from a life coaching background, I really see the way that you express your business message as a way for you to almost express like how you want to fulfill your life purpose. Because when you're able to know what it is that you do, but why you do it, your business can, in a sense, really be the vehicle to express what you're here to do and to create a lot more fulfilling and compelling work. And so it is so, so important because once you know like the basic components, it's just going to make things so much easier, right? It's going to be so much easier to create content and get visible because you know like what you want to talk about and how it relates to your audience. It's going to be so much easier for you to like create offers because you know like how you want to serve people and what they truly need. And then sales and things like that too, it's going to feel so much easier and aligned because again, it's like your business message is kind of like almost like your life purpose meets what the market needs. And sales, when you find that sweet spot, it's just going to feel so much more easier and more aligned. And so, however, one of the biggest challenges that I see people have around business messaging is clarity, right? Like, what is my business message? How do I figure it out? And this makes so much sense because, like I was saying, sometimes it's just really hard for you to actually see like what you bring to the table, mostly because you're just so close to it, right? You're just so like you just have like a different vantage point around your business message. And so that's why it's like so key to have things like coaching or community or other people around you to be able to help reflect like what is it that they see in you, what is it that makes you what like the value that you bring to other people as well. It's like so cool. It's so helpful to have that kind of feedback as well. There's an image that always stuck to my mind of imagining that like you are stuck in a glass jar, like you're like inside like a glass jar, and the label is on the outside, right? It's like, since you're inside, it's hard for you to see like what the label is. It's hard for you to see like what your business message is because you have the vantage point of being in it. However, other people outside can probably read the label really easily, right? They see what you have to offer. They kind of know like the impact that you make on their lives. And so it's really, really helpful to have that collaborative process so that you're able to not only see it for yourself, but you also, other people can see it too. And the whole key is to make sure that it matches, right? And the whole key is to make sure that what you see is also the same thing as what they see. And the bridge to that is to make sure that you have words that really can communicate that in both ways. Anyway, so again, the biggest challenge that I see people having when it comes to business messaging is that clarity. And I just want to say right off the bat in the beginning of this training, I just really want to simplify these, complicated concepts like niching and business messaging, so that you can let go of any sort of like perfectionism or let go of any sort of need to like get it right. Because I believe that you may already have like a lot of these components going for you. It's just a matter of like making some small tweaks, right? That's why I'm calling this challenge like a business message makeover, is because it's probably already within you. It's just almost like, when you do a makeover, it's like getting like a haircut or like putting on some fresh lipstick, right? You just have to make some small tweaks so that it turns what you already have into something a little bit better and something more attractive to your clients. So with that being said, I wanted to give you a one-liner template just as a baseline to start. And again, this is all within your workbook, so make sure that you download that. And the reason why I love to start with a template, again, it's like it really kind of lays out like all the components of a business message that you can have, so that you can feel a lot more comfortable with knowing like what's important to be able to communicate. So here's the one-liner template. Okay, I am a job title. I help my dream clients to solve this problem. These are my parentheses. You fill in the blank with my unique approach, process, or business model so that they can do what's possible and important to them. So I break this down into 3 different parts, and then I'll dive into each part this week. But today we're specifically going to talk about the first part, and it's choosing your professional title, the counterintuitive way to stand out in a saturated industry. So the first thing to do is to choose your professional title, to choose your job title. This can seem really like simple and straightforward, but it's actually filled with a ton of mindset challenges. And that's okay. And I think it's important to kind of know that can happen so that you can just normalize that, just to be able to know like the reason why maybe choosing a job title can feel hard is because it's not because like you can't figure it out, but it's because there's probably a lot of mindset challenges that can come along with it. For example, like when you go to choose a job title as an entrepreneur, you didn't have to do that when you worked for corporate, right? Like when I was working as a teacher, like my job title was already chosen for me. So in a lot of sense, like when you are starting your business and like figuring out your niche, like this is kind of like a new thing. It's like a new skill. Like when I was working in retail, like my first job was working at Old Navy, like my job title was a customer service associate. It was given to me. Then when I was in college, I was a resident assistant. That was given to me. And then when I was starting my career as a teacher, right, I had like different job titles. Like I was a preschool teacher. I was a first grade teacher. And so in a sense, it's like job titles were chosen for you in corporate. But when you're an entrepreneur, like you get to choose your job title. So there's a lot of like freedom and flexibility in that too. However, it's new. And so sometimes if it feels hard, it's just acknowledging the fact that it's different, right? You're probably walking into kind of a new space. The other reason why I think choosing a job title can feel difficult is because a job title actually does signify your professional identity. It's like it really indicates like who you are becoming. And if you are, starting out a new business or going to the next level of your business, there may be a sense of like stepping into something new, right? You probably want to choose a job title that you're like aspiring to be. Like you have the vision for like who you want to become. The reality is you're just not quite there yet. And that is okay, right? When you choose your job title, you are actually like claiming your expertise. Like you're actually saying like, this is what I do and this is how I can help. And taking that stand and actually making that claim is a commitment, right? It's a declaration. It is really choosing who you are and what you have to offer. And so there is a big weight that can come around that, right? Especially if you're trying to figure out like who do I want to be, right? What do I want this business to be? Like if you like really see yourself being more of like a COO, but you've been operating as a virtual assistant, right? That's a big leap to the next step. Or maybe you like the idea of being a coach, but there's like so many other coaches out there who do the same thing. And so knowing that the reason why I could feel like a big deal is it kind of is. It's like really choosing your professional identity. However, I'm here to help make it really simple and straightforward and to kind of, again, release the weight and the pressure that you may feel around choosing like the right thing. And so my biggest tip around choosing a job title is clarity. It's just to keep it really simple and keep it really straightforward. And so my counterintuitive approach to standing out in a saturated industry is actually to not differentiate by job title. So I'll say that again. So my counterintuitive approach to standing out in a saturated industry is not to differentiate by job title. And I know like your instinct will probably be like, well, everybody is a coach, so maybe I should just choose like a different, like cute and clever title. Or maybe you're feeling like, yeah, like I really, really want to be a CEO, a COO, but maybe I should just wait and to get more certifications or something in order to step into that role. The reason why the reason why I believe that you can just choose the job title that is the most simple and most straightforward is because at the end of the day, the truth is that you actually do have the same job as other people who have the same job title. Like when I was a customer service associate at Old Navy, I had the same job title as all the other customer service associates at Old Navy, right? Which is just a fancy word for cashier. But the good news is that that means if there's other people who do what you do, it just means that there's a need for your services. And so just to take that as a good thing, like it's almost like pre-validated your niche. And again, it's like when I was a teacher, there was a ton of other teachers who had the same job title as I did. And And now as a business coach, like that's my job title. I have the same job as other business coaches. And then when I know what my job title is, it really allows me to understand too, in a very simple and straightforward way, like what's my job description, right? Like I'm here as a business coach to help entrepreneurs make money online. Like it's very simple, it's very straightforward. And tons of other people do what I do, which is okay. It's great. It's actually something to be celebrated because that means that people need us, right? People need what you do. People need what you do. And also from a marketing and communication perspective, when you have that clarity, it's going to be so helpful. It's helpful for you, so you know like what your roles and responsibilities are, but also for your audience and for your potential clients, or even like the people who refer you. It's like they know right away the essence of what you do, right? Like it's like if somebody comes to me and they're like, oh, I really want to start a business online, but I just not quite sure how. I'm kind of scared to do it as well too. Like, oh, I can do that. That's exactly what I do. And that's exactly how I help. So do you see how keeping it simple and straightforward actually is really, really beneficial in terms of just like communicating and marketing what you do? Now, there's going to be so many more mindset challenges that pop up with it. So I'm going to walk you through just a few more things that you may be dealing with. Another question one question that pops up a lot too is, well, even if I choose a job title, like, will there still be people who don't know what you do? Will there still be people who don't know what I do? Yeah, absolutely. You always will have like that uncle that you see at holiday functions, right? Who are like, I have no idea. Who have no idea what you do. And again, I think it's just a reminder that it's not because you're not being clear. It's just because they're outside of your industry, right? They don't have the same context to understand exactly what you do. And again, that's okay. If you flip it, if you like, flip it, it's like there are so many industries out there that I'm not quite familiar with, that I don't know that I'm really not sure what to do. Like the example I always give is my dad is like a medical researcher, which again, okay, that's his job title. And it kind of makes sense to me, but I don't understand like everything that he does because I'm not in the industry. Like I don't have like that professional knowledge, and that's okay. That's okay. So again, like choosing the job title that's like the most clear as like a starting point, and knowing that like your content and your conversations can further educate people on what you do, how, and what you offer and the value that you bring. Okay. But having that clear job title will give you a really good start. So I hope this is helpful for you too. Let me know in the comments, like, what is your job title? Like a top, you can type it in. You can, if you're not quite sure, just pick something that you're kind of like leaning towards, and I'm happy to, give you my feedback and some insight too. But I think as you are doing things like this, like business messaging and niching, again, like clarity is really just going to come from action and from like trying things and seeing like how it lands, like seeing how it resonates, like with you. Like if it's like, I always kind of picture like you trying on like a jacket or something. Like, do you like the fit of this? Like, do you like the color of this? Like kind of like seeing how you feel in it. And also too, like seeing how it lands with other people too. Like, are they, when you tell them what you do, are they like curious to learn more? Are they confused a little bit and asking more questions? It's like knowing that all of that feedback is just going to keep helping you with the clarity and the confidence. Okay, and the another mindset challenge that I really wanted to address today is this question around, okay, well, what if the job title is in like a new industry for me? I see this a lot too, of again, I think when people are starting their businesses, growing their businesses, a lot of times it's like you have like a vision of who you want to be, but like you may not have the experience for it. And the reason why I I use air quotes, it's like because I often see it's like you do have the experience. It's just a matter of like giving yourself permission to like go for it. So in that, and if that's the case, it's like really picking the job title of who you aspire to be, right? What is the job title that you really want to grow into? Who is the person? And that way you're really building towards the vision of who you want to have. And knowing that the work is not to change the job title, like let's just keep that simple, clear, straightforward, but your work is really going to be on managing our mindset, right? Like maybe it's really going to be identifying when the imposter syndrome shows up and really affirming for yourself, like, I belong here. I really do know what I'm talking about. I can really give value to people like today, like somebody out there needs to hear what I have to give today. Right. And so just knowing that what like actually like tackling the right problem there. It's like it's not the job title, it's probably just managing more of your mindset. So like an example would be like if you're an author, but you're like starting to write your book, but you don't have a published book yet. It's like just like try it on. Right? Like I am an author. I'm an aspiring author. Like I am a book mentor, I am a book coach. However, whatever the thing is that you want to become, like start speaking that over yourself now, right? And like practically, like you can practice this out loud like 10 times, like looking into the mirror, like I am an author, like I am a life coach, I am a financial consultant, like whatever that is, like really saying it out loud so that you can see if it resonates, but also that you are affirming it for yourself and who you are becoming, really stepping into that full job professional identity. So all that being said, your action step today, you can do this in your workbook, is to choose a job title. That's to choose a job title. Like if you have lots of them, like if you're not quite sure, come up with like 10 of them. Just like brainstorm 10 of them and then choose one that makes the most sense, that you really like, and then write it in your workbook, and then even write it in your sticky note. Put it next to your bathroom mirror so you can see it, over and over again. And this way too, it's like messaging really does come from you. Like you have to be the one that believes in it. You have to be the one that is confident in it. You have to be the one that is clear in it. And so doing that work is going to really make a big difference. And so to recap, again, the counterintuitive way to stand out in a saturated industry is to actually choose a job title that's like plain and boring, basically. it's like the recap. Again, because there's going to be a lot of people who do the same things that you do, and that's okay. It actually is a good thing. However, we are going to differentiate in other ways. And so tune in on Wednesday, where we're going to decide on your dream clients. And that's a great way for you to differentiate, is to actually know, like, who is it that you want to serve? What is the problem that you want to solve for them? And how can you be the guide to really help them towards their dreams? It's a great way to differentiate. And then on Friday, let me double check what it is on Friday. It's going to be good. And on Friday, we're going to really talk about your value positioning. Again, this is going to be the thing that really helps you to stand out in the saturated industry, because you are really going to understand the value that you provide for people, and the way that will, again, like just really start to naturally differentiate yourself from other people who may have the same job title. And so thank you so much for joining me today. Again, a comment along to be entered to win that one-on-one coaching session, or reach out to me if you have any questions. I would love to just walk you through this process and and just answer any questions that you may have. And I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Bye.